Hey everyone, before we get started, don't forget to check out hustlersterritory.com for merch. That is hustlersterritory.com for merch. So let's get started with the episode. I'm a workaholic. I'm a workaholic. I'm a workaholic. I'm a workaholic. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Hustlers Territory. My name is Tremaine James, and I'm with my co-host, Joel Verley.
Joey Joe here.
Here on this podcast, we ask high achievers how they got started and what they learned along the way. Today, I have a six-figure e-commerce entrepreneur, the CEO of Pink Boss University, and a serial entrepreneur. With that all being said, let's give a big welcome to Mr. Jac Quay Martin. How you doing?
I'm good. Hey, y'all. I hope everyone's
Jac
doing
Quay.
well. Hey.
Nice to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. I'm very excited to have you on because we know we talked a little bit in the messages. I know you was like, who is this dude inboxing me on a podcast?
Right. But hey, closed mouth don't get fed. So hey, we here.
I know. Well, we're glad to have you on. So the first thing that I wanted to ask you, because I know I did want to ask you how pretty much you got started, because I was looking at your profile and I seen the little video you had and you were talking about how much you made last year, and I'm like, oh man, she killer. I know I got to bring her on. And I was just kind of really interested. I'm like, how did she get started? So I want to talk about a little bit how you got started as an entrepreneur, and elaborate on that.
Okay. So Pink Boss University, it was not always that name in the beginning. When I first started, I opened a hair store. So that was in 2015. So 2015, I had woke up one day in my sleep and said, I wanted to sell hair because I was always getting hair for myself. I'm like, why not invest in what I already, what I buy? And all the girls I'm around wear hair. And so I opened a little storefront. I was still working corporate back then. And I'll say I messed up because I hired way too many people. Like I hired like 3 girls, which I should have hired like 1 and doubled her pay and had a floater. But that's what you learn through experience. But I had the hair store, did really well. And I started this thing called Magic City Mondays. And that was strictly for strippers, like, because usually the shop is closed on Mondays and the girls would come and get their hair done. We'll have like a person who did like their outfits. They had like a bartender there. Like we strictly shut it down, and that kind of got us big. And then I opened a salon like 9 months after I opened the hair store. So it's like we kind of grew kind of fast because I started working with, because I don't do hair. So people get confused. Like I don't do anything. I just opened the place, opened the salon. I had like people who, like 6 girls. Right. I'm more so business aspect than branding and marketing. But I created Pink Boss inside Kink because I had a lot of different people I was associates with them that was in the business. And when I was trying to start, nobody wanted to help me. They were just like, trying to like give me little tidbits, like, or just give me crumbs. I'm like, why can't you help me? It's not one spot for nobody. Like, so I wanted to create a space where people could come without any hesitation, because I believe like there is no one, like one spot, it doesn't exist. 2, what's for me is for me. Can't nobody take that away. And it's just like, I feel like if I help other people, I become more successful just by helping them. So I did this whole thing inside one business. And so while I was there, I got my master's in marketing and internet marketing. So I had built this whole thing with graphic design and website, and I added all of the products that I was selling and making as in wholesale. And we created this whole big platform of women-owned businesses who, it was like a one-stop shop. You didn't have to leave like business formations, because obviously my first master's in business. So we did your formations from LLCs to nonprofits. Then we did your local to your websites, to your flyers, to all the way up to the point of your business cards, to the stuff for your vendor table. And we supplied the product. We're a one-stop shop. So it was just like, everyone just kept coming in customer service, and I just kept growing. Then I opened a spa. And then where you guys see me now is now I have the big warehouse, and now I have what's a flex space, which is it's a warehouse in the back and retail in the front. So I have people who rent suites from me in the front. And then in the back is the warehouse where we do all of our orders. And then we have the herb bar. And then we have the area where people rent like peer space. So they rent out the warehouse and we have like a photo brand area where people do their photo shoots and stuff.
Wow. So real quick, and then I'll let you ask Joel. So what exactly, if you were to describe, what Pink Balls is, how would you describe it?
So we're a full branding and marketing firm. That is the basis of it, but which supplies you obviously with the product. So full branding and marketing who also can provide you with the actual product or actually provide you a space to actually you be in and have your product. So we have suites literally from start to finish, full branding and marketing, like everything.
Okay. Joel, you got a question?
Yeah. I heard about one struggle. You said that when you started off, you kind of, went on the hiring spree and said, we're going to gang this thing. We're going to get a whole team going together. You hired a bunch of people. So that's a struggle you kind of faced, before you started making it. How did you like overcome that? And like, what's some other struggles you had to overcome?
Oh, because I got a lot. I mean, so yeah, so it's like, because, I've learned through so much, because I feel like I have went to school and things like that, but that didn't really teach me nothing. It's really through experience. Everybody knows that experience.
Oh, we already know. Yeah, it's a scam. So it's a scam.
Yeah, like, I'm happy for him. Like if I ever had to go back to corporate America, thank you. I'm glad I got him. But like experience wise, I feel like I've learned everything. But for the situation of hiring, so back then, because I worked corporate, it really wasn't a mental thing that I was thinking about. I'm like, okay, well, I could just pay these people. You know what I'm saying? Because I still worked corporate at that time. But at the same time, I learned from that was being back that I don't know, in 2015, I think what was Georgia's minimum wage? Like $7.25, I think. And at that time I was paying $9.25. If I would just which was I think $2 more. If I would have paid somebody $18.50, one person $18.50, and had a floater, from my experience, I feel like that I would have had better quality associates. Like, don't get me wrong, they were well, but I just feel like from experience wise, I feel when people make a little bit more, even though it's $2 more than minimum wage, I feel like I could have learned from, okay, I don't need 3 people because why do I have 3 people here at the same time? Like it makes no, it makes no sense. So that was, So
yeah, I feel you on that because I've been in a similar situation where it's kind of like, hey, I can hire a really good person, but it's going to cost me a little more, or I can hire like some more people and not don't have to pay them as much. And you can kind of get stuck in that situation. It's like, man, if I just hire a good person, I can throw them the ball and they can kind of run with it, versus, having somebody you constantly got to train. They're constantly asking you questions. They don't really know what to do. I don't know if you had to go through any of that.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, so the crazy thing is like I've obviously had hired people that I didn't hire people that I know. That is another thing that you do not hire people that you know. Because so I'll never forget. Like I laugh about this. Like I was laughing about this the other day. I had cameras in my space, obviously, and I hired somebody I knew. I'm on the camera, and you have never been to my spaces, but I have it's set up a nice, like it's a couch with like a table, and it's like nice, like the area they sit in. I looked on the camera, my friend, shoes off, she laid out the cover on her, like the cover over her head. A customer walk in. I'm like, I know she lying. I know he was not asleep on my clock.
Too comfortable. Too comfortable.
Way too comfortable.
She was so comfortable. She'll text me like, I'm gonna be late for work today. Like I got something. Like,
no,
so
can't have that.
Yeah, I fired her.
I would have fired her right away.
Yeah.
Are y'all still friends though?
Yes, we're better friends.
Okay.
Yeah, like he just spoke in my event and everything. Like we cool. Like it's just we're better friends. And like she can't work for me. We're just better. I fired my homeboy. He worked there too as a manager because I thought we was good in business. He was good, but no, he didn't really do well either. So I just hired. After that, I just hired people I didn't know. Like, I just did not know. I did my Indeed, created a whole little Indeed campaign, and I had my interviews off of Indeed, and then I hired off of that.
That's good. That's good advice.
And
Go
that's
ahead,
one thing
Jermaine.
I learned too, like, especially even just like doing a collaborative business, like even though me and Joelle, we're collaborating, we wasn't friends before. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
because we already know I've done several businesses with friends and they were always terrible, because then you're always expecting, especially, like if you're collaborate, you're expecting something out of this person more than you would if maybe, you know what I mean? Like me and Joelle, we
Right.
know our roles versus the other
Mm-hmm.
person. I'm more critical if they don't commit to their role,
Right,
because
right,
we're
right.
not strangers, we're friends. So they feel like they can slack off.
Well, I can. So one of my things is, so I started business super early, right? So like when I got my salon, I was like 22, and the people who I hired were older than me, and I was still having fun. So I've been over here having fun with them. We're part, and I had to learn from them, like from mistakes. It's like, okay, we are cool, but see, I know how to switch from business to personal in a second, and a lot of people do not. Like I could be talking to you, and I could take a shot with you, but then as soon as a client come in, I could be like, hey, how can I assist you today? A lot of people don't know how to transform in different situations. And I was 22, 23, learning from that. And I actually had to like let go of a whole team, because we had got so personal and the disrespect was not where it needs to be. I'm like, I think they have forgot that this is my building. Like this is
Mm-hmm.
Right.
like, what I'm saying? Like you done forgot, like I can let y'all all go. I would like, and let all these 60s before I be disrespected. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I had to learn that you can't really be too friendly in business off the rip, because you have to understand, like, their work has to be done, and there still is a transaction that has to be taking place. This is business. This is a business transaction. So it has to be respect. So I had to learn, like, okay, it has to be a boundary set, to be able, in certain situations, at least for me, I had to learn that. Now I'm learning after experiencing it, because it took me a while after having my salon and having to start all over. Obviously that was years ago, but now I'm learning that now in the people who I'm working with now, building that trust, like, okay, you know what, we can be cool. We can go out and have drinks, because now I'm more mature. Now I've learned and have experience, because everyone has their, learning abilities, but I just feel like you have to go into it business, and if we grow into something, that's fine, but you have your boundaries too.
Yeah. So I got a good question for you, because I know you've probably met people like this all the time, especially people who want to start a business, and they allow personal situations to always kick them back. And we already know, especially somebody who's being an entrepreneur, there's not really a time you can't do that. You can't just because something happened, it's gonna kick you back for 2-3 months, and then you say, oh yeah, I'm getting back to it. And they always allow personal situations. So like, to you, whenever you hear that, or maybe I'll ask this: have you ever had any personal situation that ever took you back, where you were like, it just kind of knocked you all off course? And if you
Of
did,
course. Yeah. So
Mhm.
so for me, so I'm actually going through a separation. So that happened last year. So last year I did make 160, like, of course, six figures. So, but that wasn't like my biggest year. I was just shocked that I still made that going through my separation, because I was so silent. Like usually I'm so always out and involved and having events. Like I had events last year, like I had my brand boot camps, but I still was more so silent, like more silent I've ever been. And I will say, like, you shouldn't let your personal situations hinder you, because we all got bills, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
got big girl bills. Like,
You got building bills.
Bill
I
bills.
got big
Yeah.
girl bills. Like it's so, like it's for me. I did. So like for me, I had just got a warehouse. Well, I had just got that big old warehouse space. And it was just like, I have all these orders. Like I talked about that on the live. Like I probably have had maybe like 9 refunds in my whole career of life. I mean, like, it's just last year.
Wow.
Last year, I had like last year though.
You deliver.
No, last year it was bad. Like right, like last year in refunds, I probably had like, man, y'all probably had like $10,000 in refunds, because and that's a lot. Because
Yeah.
it was one, I scaled my business I started in March. I had decided, like, I'm gonna scale, because I always touch around the same number. every year. And that's because of the fact, again, you have to build a quality team, because if you don't trust anyone, you're going to keep capping at a certain number. Like, dang, I keep coming around the same number after, everything. But needless to say, I scaled it. It's like all of my stuff was like blowing up. Because, I'm not just online, because I have a storefront and I have multiple businesses. Like Pink Boss is a business of mine, but I got Pink Dr. Spa, then I have my son business.
Yeah,
so it's like,
that's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you like what, because I remember when we was in the chat, you said, "Oh yeah, I'm opening up 2 more." I'm like, "Dang, how many businesses you got? You already got 3
okay
in the title." So yeah.
Yeah. So I have my son. Okay. So I have Pink Boss, which everyone knows and stuff like that. And I have Pink Dr. Spa. But yeah, so I'm actually getting into real estate. So real estate, I don't know if you know about tax liens, like homes,
tax
property.
liens.
Oh
that
yeah,
case.
I read about those.
So property tax liens. So I'm getting into property tax liens, which I'm super, super excited about it. And I'm going to do it with actually a group of us are going to actually do it. And I feel like, I know I have not actually, finished all the way to the process where I've actually closed. So this will be my actually first closing on it, next month.
Yeah.
On the tax. I'm super, super excited about that. Do you guys know how tax things work? Or do you guys want like a little?
Well, I know you probably, I don't know if because I've actually been to an auction.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, wow.
That's where you went to.
Yeah, I've been to the auctions. I've been to all the houses. I've just never just have got the lien.
Yeah. I mean, I have a fun, but we'll let you explain it, because I know a lot of the listeners, for those people who want to jump into tax liens, I'll, definitely. Can you explain it?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, super quick. So usually around in any county, and typically anyone lives in, there's typically a list of homes who obviously has property taxes. And so typically that's people who have paid their houses off, or they do not have it inside their mortgages. So there's a list of all these properties, these houses, these commercials, even commercial properties, churches on there, it's plazas, it's a whole lot of different things. So it's super crazy. So you get this list, and I don't know how it is for other states, but how it is in Georgia is the properties come out 2 weeks before the actual auction, and the auction is first Tuesday of the month. And so what I do is, I look at the houses, you drive around the areas, see what it is. You look at the property. Well, first look at what they owe, and usually it's in the newspaper 2 weeks before, and so you see what they owe, and then. I don't know if you guys saw in the mail, sometimes you get these little postcards that say, "Hey, we're buying houses in the neighborhood. Let's talk to you." You know what I'm saying? So there's 2 ways how property taxes. You can wait to the auction, right? Because so the crazy part about it, sometimes one guy owed $1 on his property taxes. But the problem with that is sometimes either they have gotten ill, or they have died. And the worst case scenario is with property taxes. So let's say you pay $1,000 because it's an auction. So they may owe $1, but it could go up to $4,000 at an auction because it's a house.
Right.
So if I pay $4,000, so if I pay that $4,000, worst case scenario, I'm gonna get my $4,000 plus 20%, which is still not bad, right? But the best case scenario is that they have 366 days to pay you. If they don't pay you, you now own that house for $4,000. So for me, it's just like, it's the easiest way to get into real estate, or the third thing is why y'all get that postcard is you can call them and say, hey, or they'll call you and be like, hey, I got your postcard. And you can see they may only owe $400, but they may not even have that $400. So they can be like, you can be like, hey, I'm going to pay your taxes off the $400, and I'm going to give you $3,000 in cash, but you got to sign your deed, you got to sign it over to me. Now, typically, a lot of them will say yes because they know they're not going to have the money to give you for their property taxes.
Right.
And they're going to have some cash. They may lose everything. Right. So you got that house not having to wait a year. Now you own that whole house for $3,400. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, that's just really simple to me. Like, it makes sense to do.
Yeah, and I've done some research on that early in the pandemic, because we were looking for some hustles to get into, and we did some research on that. And it's different from state to state, because in our state, you don't have to wait for a whole year. In North Carolina, you don't have to wait for a whole year. So I've read about other states where you do have to wait, and then they can pay. Really? They can pay it off. Yeah, I heard about other states where you can do that.
So How so? Is it instant with y'all?
It's instant. Soon as they go to the, soon as it goes through the auction, it's instant.
It's game over for her. You just
Yeah.
And that's why I said this game over. I'm
She like, I'm
said
gonna go to North Carolina, no
right
problem.
to
I'll
North
be there next week.
Carolina. Yeah, I want to go. Like, because if it's instant, it's instant, that mean I gotta wait. That mean you could now you can. Are you gonna rent? I guess you can rent out the property to them if they can't move out instantly, becoming like a landlord.
Yeah, because sometimes you get properties where people are the person that owns the home or owes the taxes, they may have given it to their kids, and then their kids are not keeping up with it. And then nobody's actually living there. And then other times you got to pay people to kind of leave the house to where it's not like all damaged, because they might want to damage the house.
Because they get mad if they gotta go.
Exactly. So it's like, hey, I'll give you this money, but you need to like give me the keys and make sure you don't tear everything up.
Yes.
Yeah, because the time I went to the auction, I actually went in Atlanta. So that's where I went to the courthouse and seen everybody bidding. Now I wasn't bidding, so I was with someone who bought, who actually bid it. And then we drove around because at the time I was driving them. It was her name is Jewel Tanker. She she's a multimillionaire. She actually has the TV show Thicker Than Water. So I was her driver. I was like 23.
I used to watch her other show it was her, right? Is it her family?
Yeah, Thicker Than Water. That's what it's called.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she lives here. She lives in my city. And so she asked me, I was like 23 at the time. So I'm like, heck yeah, I'm 23. Come on. Yeah. Right. So I was driving her around, and that's when I was able to see like the learn about tax liens, tax deeds, because I was actually in her real estate. Well, he's not a realtor or anything like that, but he's a multimillionaire, but he deals in the tax lien, tax deeds, investing. He does everything real estate, and he actually looked for properties for her. So I got to attend the class for free. My dumb behind didn't take notes, but it's okay. I didn't know I was going anyway, so I didn't have no paper. So, but I mean, I had my phone, but all right, it is what it is. But yeah, so that's the time that I actually got to, and it was really cool going, driving them to house, going inside, and then, and even talking about the strategy that he used, because one of the things that he talks about is a lot of people think that, all right, if I'm going to, I get the house and everything, now the house, I own it. Most people try to fix it up. One thing he teaches is never fix it up. Just sell it as it is.
Wholesale.
Just sell it as it is. Yeah. So if you got it for $4,000 and the market, it's 100 plus thousand, just sell it as it is. Don't fix it up.
You can wholesale it. It all depends, because it depends on where you are too, because the rent market is really great in Atlanta, because a lot of people got to afford to buy a house. Right. So the rent market for me, for my first tax lien, of course I'm gonna flip it, right? But the second one, I'm gonna hold. Like I want to hold the house, flip it, fix it. Like by the end of this year, I will be in a new house from the house I'm in now. Like I'm in my house now. I'm gonna rent this house out, take the equity out in my house, fix it up, rent it out, buy another house, or whatever. Because the market in Atlanta is just like, you put something on the market to rent right now. Today on Craigslist, it'll be rented by the end of the day. Like, because that's just how it is in Atlanta. I learned that from a real estate agent. Her name is Chin Lam. She works for Keller Williams, and she does wholesaling and investment properties. And so she talks about how, if the house comes with the stove and a refrigerator, let them know that's free. They can have it. But if it goes messed up, they got to replace it. But you give it to them for free. And I was just like, she said, if it comes with the house, if it comes with the house, if you're buying it. So the same way that you're saying it, if you're that, but renting it wise, you will want to keep stuff like that for things. But yeah.
Right. So I do want to go back to the Shopify questions, because I know that's where it looked like that's where you made the bulk of your money. Or is it like a combination of the Shopify stores and then the actual in person?
So what I showed on there is strictly just
Shopify sales,
e-commerce sales.
Okay.
Like that's not like walking in, because walking in, you do cash, you do your cash, we have the Square processor, so it's not included with Square, like the little tap and chip. No, the Squares, we use Square processor inside store.
Yeah. So I do wanted to ask you, because I know, especially now, I'm in the process of creating a store. And I see the free themes that they have. Do you currently use a free theme, or do you have a paid theme? What theme do you currently use?
I don't. use a paid theme. I mean, I'll use because I'm a website designer, so I design mine. So I code mine. I go on Photoshop.
Oh, you actually coded yours? You know how to do Liquid?
Yeah, my first degree is design and fashion merch. So I went in a minor of graphic design.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so my first degree, and my second degree is marketing, and my third is business.
That's why you're the pink boss.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask too. How your corporate employment, did it help you in your business as far as organizing and things like that?
You said, like, repeat the question.
Because you were you talked about how you were in corporate world.
Yeah.
I didn't know how that influenced in your business endeavors.
My business world. So really, what really probably influenced me. So when I was in actual college, so I actually styled for years. Styled like for shows and plays and stuff like that. And so Clark Atlanta really taught me a lot of different things through experience being on set. And so that's why I went into the hair industry and then went into like beauty industry, because I worked with a lot of people in the industry. When I took corporate was when I actually became married and wanted to have a family, because I didn't want to be out till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning on set, having big stuff. So when I worked corporate, I went into, I'm not, okay, so I'm gonna say this. If I ever had to go back to corporate, I would. But I know for a fact that I'm not built for anyone to feel like they have power over me, because it doesn't, because it's like I can listen, but it's just the fact people get so power hungry of a term of a name. Like I've always had measuring roles, right? So it's like, okay, that's fine. But I've always been just laid back. Because we're all grown. You should know what you're doing. So it's like, I feel like my last job probably taught me more so, because I left corporate with Amazon as a manager, but I maintained 50 people. I mean, I worked from home, but like I hired, like a lot of people don't realize with Amazon, they have different levels of manager positions, like the ones that you come in with, like, over the stock side, when you're over the stocks and stuff like that. So it was cool because I managed like 50 different people. It showed me how to have really different personalities and like how, what I'm saying? Because it's like, I've managed about 12, maybe 13 girls, because at a shop, it's so many different girl personalities. So it's like, but there, I wasn't used to having 50 different people, or how, okay, we have to break this differently, or some people are more so like, what is it? I need to be able to see it. Then you just tell me like, okay, this person really needs to be able to see this multiple times. Like common sense is not common. Like I used to think common sense was so common, and it's not. Like you got really, some people need baby crumbs, like A1, A2, B1. Like it's like I had to learn that, and I felt like that I had to learn patience. So I feel like corporate has taught me patience. But I feel like the industry has not taught me patience, because if you're in the industry, being in the film industry and, entertainment industry, it's all cut and dry. Like we got to go, like, because it's not what you know, it's who you know. You can't fail. You can't mess up, because it'll follow you, really.
So getting back to Tremaine's point with the e-commerce, how do you see that it's a benefit to not having to deal with so many people when you deal with e-commerce?
When you say that, what you mean? Like dealing with
people like having people like a brick and mortar. So you got e-commerce, you're selling online, versus having a brick and mortar where you got to manage like several people and make sure that they're following the processes right, they're doing things, stocking right, and e-commerce like easier.
So yes and no. Because if you're e-commerce, so I'm gonna say this and why. So when I started my business, you're gonna think about it, because you got to say, I tell people now, like I tell people when they start their business, you don't never want to start your business like today. You want to set your business up for the future, so that you're not, scattering like, oh my God, and I say that to say, when I first started my business, my turnaround with stuff will be like, oh, I have everything to do within 5 business days, right? Now that's me getting like cute little number for orders. Oh, there's 20 little cute little orders, that's so cute. Like I can get your stuff to your 5, but when you're scaling, like, okay, now you have like 200 orders or 300 orders, you're saying, you're like, I can't get your stuff to you in 5 days. Like how is that? Like, it's not possible. So now, mine is now 21 business days, because you have to think about, we're having websites, we're doing flyers, we're having to make products, because we have to, we make our stuff by hand. So it's like we're natural and vegan products. We have hair products, we have female products, we have male care products. So it's like, I can't give that. So I feel like you're going to have to set your, even if it's a warehouse, you're going to have workers, because who's going to make all that stuff for you, even if it's packaging. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel you got to have both. Yes, e-commerce, but you're going to have people to pay. You're not going to. I don't know. I hate packaging now. Like I said, like I love orders, but I feel like I did all my hard work, the dirty work. Like I didn't clearly pack over like thousands. Like you're saying, like we did this, and like so it's like set your business up for the future. Even if you're not there yet, you don't got to worry about changing it though. You know what I'm saying? Like so, it's like okay, you know what? I don't have to change my prices. I don't have because I mean, you know, I literally just changed my prices y'all last year, and that's crazy. Like people have been paying the same price for me for the last 5 years. That's crazy. And I have scaled so many times, and my whole brand has grown. But you have to scale, you know, as you grow, and knowledge that you grow, you know, your prices have to obviously change. So I tell people, set your business up. Literally, no, if you want to do e-commerce, still get maybe 1 or 2 people, maybe people that you can, you know, even if it's your kids, you know, you can pay them and then, you know, add them to a credit card, you know, get them money, you know, it just all depends on how y'all do it. You know, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. So that's interesting. And Jermaine, you can jump in if you have a question. But I didn't know that you did your own fulfillment also. So you run the fulfillment center. Okay.
Yeah. So we wholesale. So we fulfill for other people.
You fulfill for other businesses.
You got to think about we're a private label vendor.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So like they'll order it, we'll have their labels on it, then we're shipping it to them. Like, you know, because we're doing labels.
Yeah. So that's like a white label system where they can kind of sell your product with their brand name on it.
Yeah, private label. Yeah, private label. That's exactly what,
wow.
That's what we are.
That's awesome. So you got your own brand and you also private label.
Pink Tox is its own brand of our feminine products, which we derive most of our products from Pink Tox, but we had our hair growth oil since our very first store. And everyone that buys from us buys it in bulk. Like we have a couple, you know, like barbershop, salons, spas, you know, all different people. And we do their labels or they so either some people may either already have their logo or labels or stuff done. And they'll just order the product from us. Or people have been with us since the very beginning of their business. Look, my clients are in business. I'm always in business because, you know, they do good, I do good. You know, so it's like, that's literally what I don't sell retail. So Pink Boss is nothing retail about Pink Boss. The only retail I have is Pink Tox in my son's business, Magical Makai. But Pink Boss is no retail.
Gotcha. Interesting. That's a good business model. Obviously, it's been successful for you.
Yeah, it's been pretty well.
That's good. So I always like to ask entrepreneurs or people, you know, that's made it and successful, if there's a piece of evidence or not evidence, if there's a piece of advice that you can give yourself, your old self, what would you tell yourself to do?
In business? I could tell myself something.
Back in the day, you could have told yourself something. That would have sped you up, that got you where you are right now.
I feel like if I could go back into time, it's fun to somebody else. It's like I would stop giving away a lot of free stuff. I would never do it. Like in a sense of I was giving out hair like for $500 free. Like whatever you want, whatever length you want, you can get it just so I can get the pictures, so I can get the videos. And I feel like anybody would obviously take that chance, obviously, but you have to do your due diligence. So I felt like if I would have did what I did after the fact, which was creating a marketing form or a type form, getting their number, getting their address, getting their information, getting them signing a contract until the agreements, getting them on a calendar of where they're going to post and all of that, that would have probably helped because, but it helped me get here, yes. But I lost a lot of money at the beginning, you know, because, you know, I when I say a lot, like even when I was trying out hair, like trying out different things and stuff like that too, I lost a lot of, I thought the one batch I ordered from the place that I used to buy like good. So I ordered $5,000 worth of hair and all the hair was trash. I lost $5,000. So it was just like, I had to start all over. And back then I didn't have no $5,000 to waste. So I had to start I was so heartbroken, but it is what it is. I tell people, just, you know, do your due diligence, make sure that, you know, you don't have to do free. You can do other things that people can promote and do things for you. Like I tell people, whatever is your cheapest, most thriving item, that's.
Hey everyone, so sorry I'm interjecting. So you'll see that we kind of just switch it up because we had some technical difficulties to kind of cut off on us, but we're just picked off where we are. So just keep it very authentic. You'll see that we're, trying to make sure that the recording is working right. All right. So enjoy the rest of the episode.
Happens.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all good.
Okay.
All right. So, luckily we're cutting everything up in segments.
Right.
So, all right. So I do want to talk about, I want to go back on. Okay, so what's your Shopify? I'm recording, by the way.
Which one? Pink Wash University?
Yeah. So either one. So I want to ask you, when you think about the Shopify apps that you have, what do you feel like is the important ones that you feel it should be essential for every Shopify store?
I'm not even gonna guess. Let me pull it up real quick. Because I could give you the one that comes. I feel like the most important one, because you want the exact name of it, right?
Yeah. You can, or ones that you really like. That's like I love these ones.
Okay, so I like Cozy.
What is that?
Cozy is the one that shows you like your recent sales at the bottom, and I feel like that matters in your Shopify. People want to see, oh, this person just bought this how many minutes ago? I feel like that's
like a pop-up sale.
Yeah,
okay.
Sales notification.
Sale proof.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. What is it? I think it's called Contlo. It's like it's for people to do reviews on your products, like on your page.
Okay.
It's CONTLO.
So it's just pretty much like a trust, not a trust, but like a review app, almost like product review app.
Yes, product review app. I think that you should always have some type of feed from your Instagram on your page too. I use InstaFeed.
Okay.
On mine. What else? Klaviyo.
Okay. Go ahead. So I hate to interject, but I'm kind of lost. I don't really know too much about Shopify. So what are we talking about? These are apps that you can have on Shopify?
Yeah. Okay, so we're talking a little bit about her apps that she deemed it important for her to have
on Shopify.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'll explain it to you real quick. So because obviously I do website design, so that's why it's probably easier. So Shopify obviously is a great website, processor, and they give you these applications that either can be free, that could be very great for marketing. So it's basically like an app store, but for your website. Okay. So you look for different things like, Klaviyo. So I was going to say Klaviyo. Klaviyo is email and SMS marketing. It's a marketing tool. So the customers that you get embedded from either your newsletter sign up that you have, or through your MailChimp, all your customers that buy from your Shopify, it saves all the customer information. Then you can connect your Klaviyo, where you could then create campaigns, to send out to people. So that's what Shopify just has, an app, like basically just like your app store, but for your website, and you can choose what will be better for your site to be able to work better for your customers.
Gotcha. I appreciate that.
Well, you're really saying like Klaviyo, right?
No, Klaviyo. I thought it was Klaviyo.
I heard Klaviyo.
How you spell it?
It's like KLAVIYO.
Klaviyo. Yeah. Wow. I see it. We pronounce it Klaviyo, but
I mean, yeah. But you that's what you use for your email marketing.
Yeah. Email marketing. I use of course you want to be able to have some type of for payment process, like either Klarna or Afterpay says on your website too.
I was wondering if you use Afterpay, and I was like, I bet you the Afterpay is huge.
Well, I literally just added Afterpay like maybe last week.
Oh, okay. So you haven't had it long.
Yeah, Klarna probably last month.
So what is your most sold product right now? Like, what's one that is like a killer for you?
I have actually 3 top products that's like sales, like top sales is our feminine wash, our ball wash, and our hair growth oil.
Okay. Why do you feel like those sell the most?
Well, first of all, because personal hygiene is going to always be in. Yeah. So I feel like when I drop the feminine, the feminine wash comes in gel and foam. My foam is out of all of them. Yeah. The number one is my hair growth oil, and probably because we were on the Shade Room and probably people knew it, and I turned it to my son's brand. So I feel like the hair growth oil probably grew bigger because it just grew fast over YouTube. And then people actually used it and then saw that it worked. And then our feminine wash, well, you got to think about, I work with a lot of influencers. So once they start utilizing the products and saw that it actually worked, people loved it. You know, and our pearl wash and our ball wash goes hand, like men and women, like okay, this is our men and women thing, and it works both of our pH balancing, both of them are for either odor and irritation.
Yeah.
All of our products are vegan. So a lot of people kind of like all of our stuff because all of our stuff are all vegan.
Okay, so because I you know, that's one thing I did want to you know, I was wondering, because if you were using like ads, or because you just said influencers, so you use influencers to get your products out there?
These products? So when I first started, so all of my products, I've always used them. Like when I started Pink Talks, Open the Spa, that's when I got really heavy into YouTube and Instagram influencers. Because first I was using people around, like, you know, Atlanta, colleges, because you don't want to sleep at college, because college students could bring you a lot of money. So I had, like, you know, they were commissioned, and because, you know, every college student, in order to graduate, they have to have an internship. So I created an internship program to be able to get internship hours, and then that's how I paid them when I first started, because I didn't have no money to pay nobody. I could give you some internship hours, and I could give you a stipend, and I could give you some commission on these orders.
That's smart.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't think about that, you know. So I tell people, go to the colleges, you know. But so I use YouTube influencers, and so I tell people, a lot of people like to go to people who either have like 600 to 800,000 influencers. I mean subscribers or stuff on YouTube. I started the ones that usually have about 100 to maybe 150, because they're hungry, and so it's like I'll send you some stuff for free. Like that's why I tell people, I was sending my highest paid items, whatever you want. Now I send them my go-to item that is, I'm okay if they don't like. I'm okay to take this loss. Like for me, you got to think about what it costs you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so everybody knows, for Pink Talk side, sweet pink tea is one of our best sellers. Like, you know, it's like one of the top things at our spot, which costs $20. Now, for me, you know, me making it costs in total from packaging to actually or maybe about $4.50, you know, $5. Okay. So if you don't, I'm okay with losing that.
So that's pretty much that's for you to, you said that's for you to make. And so what's your margin?
In regards to what? To what I'm actually making back of it? My ROI?
Yeah.
My ROI is always 2.5 at minimum.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm always going to be able to buy one, take the money, and half of it the next time. Like that's what you're supposed to always do 2.5. But that's with retail, not wholesale.
Okay.
You'll say, because wholesale, you might see me post, okay, in wholesale side, I might make $200,000, but you got to think about, I'm a wholesaler, so I'm not making that full 200. Because I think about, I have to buy a lot of different things to me. You got to think about, like, I have to buy like drums of stuff. Like I might have to buy a drum of 1 sweet almond oil, you know, or 10 drums. So it's like my stuff is more so.
Yeah,
you know, I might make half of that, or maybe so you might see 200. I might make 70, because I think I got to pay people, I got assistants, I got to be able to do, you know. So it's like, it is what it is.
Yeah, your margin is not really high because, you know, you're wholesaling. So, you know, it might be like a 20%, 10 to 20%, and that you might make on top of it. But that's you know, but I mean, that is the typical e-commerce.
That's for wholesaling. Yeah, for whole.
Yeah. But your actual retail is more than that.
Yeah, my retail, like that's what I'm saying. So like if I go to my vendor events, I have never done a vendor event for Pink Balls ever. Like not ever. Like me ever be a vendor. I've only done it for Pink Talks and King Terrible Tea. So anytime I go out to go do a vendor event, I'm always with Pink Talks in the events I'm doing. So it's like I make Pink Talks kind of like stands up on its own, because it's a vaginal spa. So it has products, and people kind of just know it for what it does. And I have people who pop up and do other things there. We have, you know, waxing and stuff. So it's like that does it on its own. That's retail. You're gonna always make your bank in retail. Well, you should.
Yeah. Yeah, you
like
should.
Eventually, you know.
Yeah, because I know some people normally like, all right, I know for instance like drop shippers or whatever, because you're not a drop shipper, are you? Right. Yeah, because they technically only make like maybe 20%, just depending on like the product.
But you're not.
But there's some products that's over 100%.
Right. But I'm saying, but you're not really having to do anything but market. So it's like drop shipping. I tell people drop shipping is not really bad because me having influencers, that is part of the job, is drop shipping when you're working with influencers, because all they're doing is utilizing their code and telling people to use their code, and you're actually providing the actual product. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, so for you, you're collecting money and the person's just doing the other work. So it's beneficial.
So I want to ask this: when you connect with your do you need to jump in here, Joel?
Oh, no, it's good. It's good.
Okay. So so with your influencer, how do you like vet your influencer before you reach out to them?
Okay, so one, I'm always about hashtags. So I look up hashtags on YouTube and Instagram, depending on what I'm looking for. And then I also use I don't know if you heard of Flanks. So Flanks is a website that you use to see if their numbers are actually real and what their median rate should be.
You got to send me that.
yeah. So it's free. So you just type their number in. So it's like, so if they have like 200, so let's say if they have like 166,000, they should have like, like it should be like 0.66% to 1.25%, because I need to make sure that your engagement is real. I don't care about your followers. I don't care about your engagement. That's why I don't mind working with people who have 50,000 followers, because if your engagement is 2.12 to 3.14%, that means that your engagement is hella high, which means that people actually believe in you and in your brand.
Right.
So I look at that, then after I look at the YouTube, I find them. And then I have a standard branding template, like for brand influencers, that I send all of them the same. I just switch out the words. Yeah. I've only paid a brand influencer one time in my whole career.
Wow. So you be getting, because they basically like, I'm looking at it like I'm getting free product.
Yeah, and my products is good. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like my products is good, but it depends on how you come and get. That's why I said I don't always go for the people who have like 800,000.
Oh yeah, they charge you.
Yeah, so I'm saying, but I go like, but the one I got right now, she's like the highest one I have right now. She's at 280,000, which is decent, and she's.
Did you just say decent? I said you just say decent on that.
Yeah, that's decent.
Oh yeah. Let me go ahead and balance that out with my 2,000. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying to me that's pretty decent. And, you know what I'm saying, but that's pretty well. And she's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying, she comes to my events, she speaks to the girls. Like, we're really cool. Like all the influencers, but see, the ones who I started with are now up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, no, okay, wait. So because I think Jazz got like 400. So certain of them, I started with them like they were like at 90. So I grow with them. They already started. So it's like, you don't want to start too high, because it's like you got micro, you got macro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you baby step your influencers. And so I did that, and I've never paid for an influencer. I send them stuff. Send them stuff monthly. I even did that when I had like a clothing boutique. I sent them like summertime. I sent them like hats and sunglasses. I did like a t-shirt campaign with my logo on it and had them all, went crazy on YouTube. So yeah.
So one thing I'm wondering is like what, because I know, like you said, you give them things, and of course they have their own special code. Now, out of that code, do you give them a commission?
Yes. So yeah. So I gave it 20, so it put 20% commission for sure.
Is that 20% on top of your profit, or 20% on top of the product in general?
It's 20%. They got 20% back on the order. So let's say if somebody's ordering $20 a tee per order, they get 20% of that order.
Right. So then they'll get like $4.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not top of the profit that you make from the, it just literally like if they order $50 worth of stuff, now out of that 20% is what they're going to get received.
Yeah, for each order, and there's no cap, and they get paid every Saturday.
Oh, so
what kind of software do you use for that affiliate marketing?
Well, QuickBooks and PayPal. Because I do my, QuickBooks is connected to TurboTax, and I do my own taxes every year, so it has to be connected.
Okay, so you just something that you can send directly in and keep, and it's something they want quick as well. They like PayPal's quick. Like I get my money quick.
So it depends, because I also have it where they can set up where they either want to be paid in product, be paid in cash, because the app is based off it's the app is on Shopify. They sign up as an ambassador and they can choose their actual payment process like that they want, either in cash, either in store credit. I don't know the third one. And PayPal, like it's all set up that way by itself.
So through Shopify, they can sign up as an ambassador, which means they're an affiliate for you, and then they can choose how they want to get paid.
Exactly. It's
wow, Shopify got it together.
Oh yeah, they're billion. They're last year during Black. I don't know if you was watching it. You was watching the Jac Quay where they have they do that little thing on YouTube where they show all the sales in real time, and they made billions on Cyber Monday. I mean billions.
Wow,
across all the stores.
It works. It definitely works.
And they're getting a 2.4% with 30 cents. Oh my God. You already know they were. Oh, they enjoyed it.
It's definitely affiliate marketing. It works.
Right.
It works.
So we're gonna wrap up the podcast. And we really enjoyed you. I think that this was very insightful, especially talking about the real estate and then going on to the Shopify, because I really had some questions that I really wanted to see how you do things on your Shopify, and I think you gave some super insightful stuff that I feel like I want to take to what I do. So I really greatly appreciate you on that.
Of course. So thank you guys for having me. If y'all have any more questions, concerns, you guys can always at me, find me, write me, text me. I'm always available.
Absolutely.
Go ahead and tell the listeners.
Oh yeah, you can find me at Pink Boss University on Instagram, Pink Boss University on Facebook. Our website is pinkbossuniversity.org. That's pinkbossuniversity.org. If you need any assistance, just hit me up. And we are in College Park, Georgia. If you want to come see us, 4824 Old National Highway is on Old Nat, College Park, Georgia, 30337.
Awesome, and y'all heard it there. Definitely go check her out at Pink Boss University. But guys, I thank you for listening to the podcast, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yes.
Later.
Thank you.